ain't no Moss and like these VVS. Cardi's help me see the best. Yeah, we gon' get rich, just make this right and go to CVS. I just went to Cali, DJ Cali say they read the best. We got 60 seconds, he on me, and then he getting left. Bitch, I got my thread, it's so much.
Hey, big fella, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and turn on post notification, big dog.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Trails, and today we got another jam-packed preseason review for you today. We're doing my alma mater, the Prattville Lions in Prattville, Alabama. We got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. So without further ado, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and everything in above, and let's get into it. Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, the reason why you clicked on and you are now watching. Today we're doing the Prattville Lions, and let's go ahead and take a look back, take a few pages out of the book from last year. Going 5-5 with a 2-5 7A record, Region 3. They finished 6th in Region 3, one of the hardest regions in my opinion. So let's take a look from the schedule. You open up your season to Pike Road, which you go on at Wetumpka, winning 41-37. Fantastic game. I watched that game from first to the fourth quarter. That game was a very, very hard fought battle. They came back and won. So great victory for Coach Wallace and those Lions. Then you go on the road across town, the Battle of I-65. You go take on the Stanhope Elmore Mustangs, and you whoop the mess out of those Mustangs 34-13. Then you go up the road in Birmingham and you go face the Oak Mountain Eagles, which you come back again and win 35-28. You come home to Tuscaloosa County and you play your game again at Wetumpka and you beat the Wildcats 30-0. Then you go back on the road to Hoover at the Met, which you drop that game 6-40. Same thing with the Vestavia Hills. You're at home at the sports complex at Wetumpka. Lose to those guys 14-49. Then you play the Huskies over at Hewitt-Trussville. You take a loss there 7-49. You play Hillcrest at home. You lose to them 28-53. You lose to Thompson and in Alabaster 36-0, and you finish the season with a win over the JD Jaguars 19-6. Okay, the biggest thing I must say right now for this Prattville Lions team is that not only are you finding yourself, you're in the process of rebuilding and reloading, if I must say. You got a whole bunch of guys coming in and coming out. A lot of guys trying to get into their roles. And for you guys to go 5-5 in Region 3 and 7A, your season was okay at best. It could have been a lot better. Just losing to teams like Vestavia, Hewitt-Trussville, and Hillcrest. Those are teams that are almost kind of like state championship contenders. And for I believe Prattville was in Region 2 last in the 2023-2024 season, moving regions over to Region 3 and 7A. You're kind of putting yourself in a very, very difficult class with these bigger schools like Thompson and Hoover and Hewitt-Trussville. So you're pretty much, even though you beat Oak Mountain and Tuscaloosa County, you drop the games to the Buccaneers and the Rebels and the Huskies and the Warriors. Now, to get over the hump and get better, still do exactly what you did in the beginning of the season. You got the same schedule as last year. I'm going to do a schedule release for the teams that release their schedule. But anyway, open up your season flaming hot. You have a bunch of these games, like I said, from last year. It's just the complete opposite. Some of the home games you played last year are going to be away games. So now the pressure is really going to be on you guys to come out and dominate. And for what I know for Prattville, for watching the Lions for a long time ago, seeing my cousins play, this is a team that's no stranger to championships. But the biggest problem for me, for Prattville, is that we still think that we're state champions, but not knowing the fact that we haven't really settled in the playoffs long enough to even say that we're five-time state champions. Yeah, all those state champions we won back in 2014, 2011, 08, 09, 06, and 05, like all those past state championships, those were way back then. What about now? What does the team look now? How is the atmosphere now for the Lions? How is it in Stanley Jensen? Is the crowd getting involved? It's the players on one accord. Like I said in the last video, if the team is not on one accord, you're not going to really see too much production from this Lions team. And just looking back at this schedule, you start off 4-0, but when the adversity hits and the pressure is applied, you seem to you lose focus. And then not only that, like I said with Stanhope, the biggest thing for Prattville is when they are down and in a game, they struggle on finding that momentum. And the thing for me is, okay, we understand that teams like Hoover, Hewitt, Trustville, Hillcrest, and Thompson, of course, they're going to have bigger guys. They're going to have 5-star talent or 4-star talent across that whole roster. They're going to be way much faster, but it's all about what you have as well. There's plenty of guys on this roster for Prattville. Just to name a few, Ricardo Baker and Elijah Brown on that defense. And, to accommodate on the offensive side, you got Tristan Blackman at running back. So, you also have talent on your side. But it's an even playing field. Like I've always been saying throughout these whole preseason review videos, it's an even playing field for everybody. But if you don't apply that going into this season, you have a Hall of Fame coach here in Alabama in Bobby Card. As long as he makes sure that this team stays hot, you guys gonna be fine. But it's all about the bigger games. You know what I'm saying? So for this season, you're gonna have Oak Mountain at home. You're gonna have Hoover at home. You're gonna have Hewitt Trustville at home, and you're most definitely gonna have Thompson coming into Prattville. These teams are already built to know, hey, we gotta win this game. We gotta win this game so we can be able to go to the playoffs and dominate and continue winning states. Prattville has to get back to that. And if you have a Hall of Fame coach and Mr. Card, you're most definitely asking. You're definitely asking for a bunch of playoffs in the near future. But it will never amount to a hill of beans if you guys don't. It won't mean nothing if you can't dominate in playoffs. You can win as many games in the regular season, win region, whatever. But as long as you guys are not as dominant or pride or whatever, prideful as you guys are, you'll never get anywhere. And I'm not the type of guy to criticize a team because I'm not good at criticizing nobody. But just looking at, I'm looking at this JD game at home, and I did watch those highlights against the Jaguars at home for Prattville. That game alone could have went one-sided, but the thing that was killing me was, and even though Prattville doesn't have Coach Wallace anymore, the thing was, you were using 2 or 3 guys on offense, and defensively it was get to the ball, which is pretty clear for any defense in high school football, but on the offense, it was like, just like I said for Stanhope, you're only using a couple of people. You're not really mixing up your offense. You're not really getting creative with your offense. And, you know, if you have a coach like Bobby Carr, who is known for his offensive mindset and scheme, he's gonna want to open up that playbook and show the tricks that are up his sleeve. You know, you're gonna see a lot of guys on this roster this year who's gonna get the ball. You got a quarterback who's transferred from Montgomery Catholic. I can't remember the young man's name, but he's just like a Jalen Milroe. But the only problem is this guy has an excellent arm. And if you have a quarterback with an excellent arm, you can do anything. But the only three things I have for Prattville is: 1, do you have speed on this team? 2, how strong is that offensive line, and hasn't it gotten bigger? And 3, like I said earlier, momentum. If you have all three of those things, you should be fine. You should be fine. There should be no reason for failure. There should be no reason for error. You guys are pretty much, of course you're in a difficult region in 7A, but you're going up against the big dogs. You could literally put your name in state. People will fear you. And that's what, like, back in 2006, 2008, 2011, 2013, 14, and so forth and so forth, it's like the fear factor from Prattville, it died off because nobody was scared to go up against the Lions. Everybody that was going up against the Lions would, for instance, perfect example, that Wetumpka game back in 2018 or 2017, when the Lions dropped that game, I believe 42-17 or 49-17. I cannot remember to save my life. But that game alone showed me that Prattville was crumbling, but nobody really wanted to see it. For me, as a Prattville alumni, I would love to see my Lions dominate again like they used to, because I got a chance to see the Lions win that 2011 championship, but I don't remember it as well. So for me, as an alumni who still, and one thing I must say is, I'm gonna take a quick side quest right quick. The thing about me is I love football so much to the point where I've brought it down to the high school level. And, you know, making content like this is really putting the light on not just Prattville, it's putting a light on Stanhope, Pike Road, JD, Carver, Percy Julian, Wetumpka, all the schools around my area. So, you know, I love this game, but I didn't have the experience of playing it. So I hope that I'm really shining a light where I'm from. And, you know, guys like Crenshaw Sports Production, DeQuinte TV, and Courtside Bank, you know, all these guys, you know, are really showing the light where we're from, because as we know it, Alabama high school football doesn't get as much respect as Georgia or Florida or Texas. But getting back on topic with Prattville, my thing is again, like I said, momentum. I don't know why I'm so stuck on that word. Momentum can really drive a team to where it needs to be. And I kind of feel like Prattville is somewhat back, because not only is this Bobby Carr, this is going to be Bobby Carr's first season at Prattville. So we don't know what this team looks like, but we do know what this team is capable of. So for now, we just better hope and pray that Prattville just comes into this season knowing that they have a chip on their shoulder and they're going up against big dogs. Now, the Battle of I-65. I must say, one of the greatest rivalries and Alabama high school football, hands down. If I was to rank rivalries in high school football in Alabama, I'll put Hoover and Thompson number 1, the Battle of I-65, Stanhope and Prattville, and the West Side Classic versus Sidney Lanier and Carver, which those two teams in my third place don't play each other anymore. But to continue this video, the more I think about it, I'm kind of biased right now, but I don't want to be biased. But at the same time, Prattville could be so. It's like I've said it millions and millions and times over and over again. For most of these teams that I've covered, it's an even playing field for everybody. And I must say, I get tired of seeing Thompson, Phoenix City, Auburn, those teams always in the championship picture. I would love to see a Prattville in a Hewitt-Trussville state championship. I would love to see Carver and Prattville in the state championship. I would love to see Carver and Opelika, like many different teams. 7A is wide open this year, and nobody knows that, because the problem is you're looking at Thompson and the Hoover and all the other big names in 7A, but 7A is wide open, and everybody is going to eat this year. To end this video, I want to talk to Bobby Carr for a second. Coach Carr, I want you to understand that, like you said, this is one of the premier jobs in Alabama. If you've done a lot in your career and you have shown that you're capable of what you are, and you say who you are, and God has given you the ability to be able to coach young guys and develop them. So with you taking this job here in Prattville is a big thank you from me. And I wish you, the team, the high school, nothing but good luck, because this team has a bunch of weapons, and I cannot wait to see what y'all have in store. So with that being said, I'm Trails. We're going to be doing schedule releases next, so be tuned in for that. I got a lot in store. I'm hoping to get a camera so I can go to these games. I am going to make it to the Battle of I-65. It's going to be at home in Stanley Jensen, so I'm going to be there. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I do apologize, it's a bit sloppy, but Crenshaw Sports Productions page will be in the description. Go follow up, get him some more views, rack up his subscribers, go run it up over there on Crenshaw Sports Production. He has great quality content, so hit him up.